right. welcome all. Once again, we join our salutations and devotions to the feet of the one. Let's put our hands in partner mode. Welcome to those online as well. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsacharanam Devaki Paranam Krishnam Vande Jagataram Om Adaksheva Devi Akshay Brahma Bhani Gayatri Jagat Mata Vishnu Yogi Namaste Om Bhuribhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhuribhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhuribhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Triyambakam Yajamane Sugandhim Pushtivarnam Gurvartam Vandhanam Nityom Om Nityam Devam Vishnumadam Om Sahayam Devi Avitam Guru Sasam Om Shri Prithvi Mata Yonama Namami Om Apuritra Puritra Savashtam Gatupyo Yashmari Kundalikaksha Savaya Bhayam Prasita Om Aspashanam Samarpyami Govindaya Namaha Kapsikriyata Swaha Om Amritopastarmasi Swaha Om Amrita Pidhanmasi Swaha Om Satyam Yashashkirti Shrishtayatam Swaha Aspashanam Samarpyami Govindaya Namaha Vishnu Brahma Pushpadhi Janardana Kusavai Sankam Devam Pushdharam Karumayam Om Leela Bhagbo Kaliraja Dhanendro Mahabhalati Om Prativadami Daksha Machalam Machalam. Let's join on our keeping rights. Let's first lips. Om Bangamasi Astunos Om Nasur Me Pranastu Eyes Om Aksharo Me Chakshurastu Ears Om Kardyo Me Shuklamastu Hands Om Bahur Me Balmastu Thighs Om Urvo Me Ujvastu All Om Arishtani Me Angani Tanustarva Me Swaha Santu. Alright, take some rice in your heart now. We join our swastik, benediction mantras. Om Hari Om Swasti Na Indro Vridhasva Swasti Na Pusha Vishnu-Vida Swasti Na Stakshu Rishthameni Swasti No Brihaspati Dadhatu Om Paya Prithvivyam Payoshadhishu Payudivyam Tarikshe Payudha Payasvati Pradesha Samdumyam Om Vishnu Raratmasi Vishnu Shtaprishtu Vishnu Surasi Vishnu Dhurasi Vishnamasi Vishnavekava Om Agnida Devata Vatu Devata Suryu Devata Cha चंद्रमा देवता वसु देवता रुद्र देवता आदित्य देवता मरुत देवता विश्वदेव देवता बृहस्पति देवता इंद्र देवता वरुण देवता ओम यौ शांति अंतरिक्ष गम शांति पृथ्वी शांति आकाश शांति औषधय शांति वनस्पति शांति विश्वदेव शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वगुण शांति शांतिरेव शांति साम शांतिरेधि ओम विश्वानि देवा सवितर्दुरितानि परास्व यद्भद्रं तनास्व ओम शुक्लं वरदं देवा शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्ते ओम शांति 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 का भवतु प्रेम से श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय शरणं प्रभु ओम भूरस्वी भूमिरस्वी वितिरस्वी विश्वधाय विश्वस्य भुवनस्य धात्री पृथ्वी अच्छा पृथ्वी त्रिगंगा पृथ्वी नहीं गोम से प्रेम से पृथ्वी माता की जय शरणं प्रभु flowers symbolizing coming from our hearts. The joining offering was salvation to Bhagavan in the form of Ganesha. Ganesha is Vigneshwar. Remove of obstacles, give us success, storehouse of wisdom. We ask Bhagavan may inspire us from within with knowledge, intelligence, wisdom to recognize our challenges in life and bless us with the ability to be able to overcome them all. As some of you who have been following the calendar are aware, Tuesday, the 30th of August will be Ganesh Jayanti. It's the day Ganesha made his appearance in the world for the very first time as the son of Parvati. Next week we will not be speaking about that the week after, I think, because next week I'm not sitting here. Next week will be Neil and Paramon. So there will be a shooting next week. So following week, two things are happening. We have the Ganesha Jayanti Katha and the reason for the Ganesha Visvarjan. So I trust everyone will be interested in that. If you want to go, that will be on the 9th of September. Some temples will be observing it. They are immersing the Ganesha Murti in the lake or river somewhere. If you want to participate in one of those, find somebody who's doing it and go. We're not doing that, so just so you know. So this Voice of Dharma Temple will not be involved in that, in any of that. And if you want to, please find somewhere else and go for that day. So that will be on the 9th of September. I think that's the Friday, I'm sure. Because the 11th is the Sunday. Is that correct? Nobody. I have a calendar here. I'm telling you that right away. Yeah. So it's the 9th or it's a Friday, and the 11th is a Sunday. So the 11th we'll be speaking about that and the importance. If you want to know what it's about, I think all of us should know. So we'll take some time to explain, not only for ourselves but to those who are listening online. People follow things blindly. They don't really know why they do them. They just do it because everybody else is doing it. We're not sheep. Okay, just believe that. When you're a sheep, you're a member of the flock. If the first sheep jump in the front, you jump with them too, right? You don't have to know where they're going. You just jump in. We're not like that. We are seekers. I hope you understand that. Seekers mean you got a reason for yourself, and if it makes sense, then you do it. Everything happens in its own time. Not all of us are going to be self-realized at the same time. It will take time. So some will be earlier than others, but eventually it will happen. So let's meditate on Ganesha now. Om Gajananam Bhutganadisevitam Bhaktijambo Umasukam Shukranasukam मंगल पूजा प्रथमं प्रधानम् विहार पूजा नमस्ते ओम सर्वमंगल मांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते श्री गणेशाय नमः श्री गौरी माता नमः रम्यं सुशोभनं दिव्यं सर्वसौख्यकरं शुभम् आसनं च मया class plans only glorification of Bhagavan is a form of Ganesh. Om Jai Ganapati Sadguru Saram Kalivar Bhajan Kripa Vignaharam Mangal Karam Om Daksha Ganesh Gauri Devi Swasthana Parameshwari Aham Puja Karishyami Om Sada Sambhava Prem Swasti Gauri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai Shambhavi Now Shama, now Shanta, and the children, the Lena and Prem, I think, are on their way to New York City. She just texted me to let me know that, so I want to wish them a safe journey to and from, and I hope they enjoy their holidays. If you're listening, Shanta, or you're watching on your phone, you're on the road. Keep your eyes on the road, alright? I want you to come back safely. Alright. Alright, we offer puja now to Mahalakshmi, Lakshmi, the dispenser of prosperity, of wealth, of health, of beauty, of fortune. Most importantly, in Hindu philosophy, light is a symbol of wisdom as opposed to darkness, which symbolizes ignorance. So we join in offering of puja today. We are asking, O Devi, in the like manner that the light dispels the darkness of life, so may the darkness of our ignorance be replaced by the light of spiritual wisdom. This Mahalakshmi, we join in humble salutation. Sarvasaukhyaakaram Shubham Asanam Chamaya Rattam
Yogi
Divine Mother Mahalakshmi. Om Bhakti Lakshmi Kare Kripa Karo Hridaya Manokamya Siddhikari Rahi Rahi Dukharani Haro Devi Sarvatas Jayati 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 Karishat Kunatash Mahalakshmi Namastubhyam Namastubhyam Sarveshwari Hare Namastubhyam Namastubhyam Nayani Om Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Samskrita Namastasya 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 Namo Namastasya 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 Namo Prem Swasti Mahalakshmi Mata Sharam. Alright, we offer praises now to Sri Navgraha. The Navgraha symbolizes the planets in our solar system. We as Hindus, we accept our lives are influenced by the energy from these planets based upon the time, place of birth, as well as our own actions. The energy can be both of a positive and negative nature. Whatever negativity there may be, today we are asking Bhagavan to be our guide, to guide us, to recognize the challenges that we might face, and to bless us with the ability to be able to overcome them all as well. Especially today, we like to pray for those of our members of our community who may be ill, who may be suffering in some way or the other from the negative effects of the Graha. We beseech Bhagavan to bless these individuals, to make them well, to make them whole, that they once more be able to contribute to their homes, to their families, to ease their pains, and their dependence upon the drugs that are needed to keep them alive in many cases. But life being what it is, and medicine being what it is today, life believe is dragged down too long sometimes, and we suffer needlessly. But it happens. We live in a time when life is long, when quality is poor. We pray that everybody has a good quality of life, and we pray to Navgraha for that purpose. Most members would like to pray for Srimati Janki Samaro, Srimati Anjali Ramphal, Srimati Hari Ramprasad, who is still in the hospital, Shriman Kevin Karan Singh, Srimati Miri Manmahal, and one name we have to pray for today, Prema Mahipal. Unfortunately, passed away last Monday. We can only today at Lotus Prayer Home. And I only put her name there last last Sunday. She died the following day. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I can't answer that. But she was suffering a lot, and she has exited the present life. But we'll offer prayers for her in a little while. But for now, we pray for those who are yet living, but are not living the quality of life that they should. We pray Bhagavan to bless these individuals, to guide them on the path that will lead to wholesomeness. We meditate on Mahavishnu, Vishnu, all pervasive Bhagavan, who becomes manifest from time to time and age to age, for the benefit of humankind, by whose grace and blessings the dumb speaks, the lame walks, the blind sees, the impossible becomes possible. We're asking, O Bhagavan, In the same way, become manifested in the world for the benefit of humankind. May you become manifested in my heart, be the guide of my intellect, guiding me on the path of truth, of dharma, of righteousness, of religion, the path which leads to welfare here and hereafter too. To this Mahavishnu, we join in humble salutation. Om Sashankachakram Sakirikabundam Sapikavastram Sarasviruvesham Saharavakshasnakasturvasriyam Namami Vishnu Shivasachaturbhujam Om Karoti Vacham Aham Vandayate Jagatrikatam Vande Karmanandamaram Om Nilam Bhujashamam Sita Samaropitam Anam Mahasaita Charutapam Namami Ramam Daivanshanatham Om Ramaya Bhajraya Ramachandraya Dhirase Vairagaya Nathaya Siraya Pataya Om Nilavarnam Pikavastam Srivasavadbhushitam Govinam Gokulanam Brahmadeva Vipujitam Brahmadeva Vipujitam Sri Mahavishnu Bhagavanabhyo Namah Namami Om Ramyam Sushobhanam Divyam Sarvasaukhyakaram Shubham Asanam cha maya rattam dharana parameshwara iti asanam padyamargyam snanam Sri Mahavishnu Bhagavan Kyujaram
Krishna Kripalu Krishna Kripalu Krishna
I think we'll get Ravi, Tamar to do the round slow there. Bol Ram Jai Jai Ram Bol Ram. Oh, you want my coffee? Sorry. There you go. प्रेम से बोल श्री महाविष्णु भगवान की जय शरणम प्रभु. That mic actually is low, not the
Okay.
Usually they raise them, not lower them. All right, it is what it is. We gotta readjust now. We meditate now on Alpha Puja to Bhagavan Shiva Shambhu. Shiva symbolizing the real absorbing aspect of unity. Atman becomes merged into Paramatman, and self-realization, moksha is achieved. He's called Vardhata, the giver of boons. Repeating Panchakshara mantra Om Namah Shivaya in the puja of Bhagavan Shiva, the sinful tendencies inherent within us, pradhamaya, anger, greed, jealousy, covetousness, hatred, pride, envy, these become burnt in the fires of our devotion. In this manner we attain purity of thoughts, of words, of deeds, of mind, of intellect, of actions, which are prerequisites for achieving self-realization by offering puja to Bhagavan Shiva with love, with devotion, and repeating his Panchakshara mantra with love and devotion too. I invite you now to sit upright, to cast away the worldly cares. We all have them. Let's put these at the back of the minds for a little while. Meditate on the most pleasing form, aspect of the divinity. Bhagavan is beyond names and beyond forms. The names and the forms are tools that we are using to help us to keep the mind from wandering. Let's put those tools into use and help ourselves to self-realize, to realize Bhagavan within us, to ask him to make his home within our hearts, to be a guide of our intellect, guiding us on the path of truth, of dharma, of righteousness, of religion, the only path which leads to welfare here and hereafter. In this Shiva, we join in humble salutation. Om Pashunam Pratim Papanasham Paresham Gajendra Sikritim Vasanam Varenyam Jatajuta Madhye Suradagangavarim Mahadevam Ekam Smarami Smarim Om Mahesham Suresham Sudarmatinasham Vibhum Vishwanatham Vibhutyam Bhusham Virupaksham Bhartavanitrinekam Saranam Namide Prabhu Panchavakram Om Girisham Ramesham Gale Neelavarnam Rajendravirudam Gunaatikarupam Bhavan Bhaswaram Bhaswara Bhushitangam Bhavani Karatram Bhaje Panchavakram Om Shivakanta Shambho Shashankaranamare Maheshani Shurim Jatajutadharam Swamikvajatavyapako Vishwarupa Prasidam Prasidam Prabhu Purnarupam Om Namaste Namaste Vibhu Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chirananda Murte Namaste Namaste Taparimodaganya Namaste Namaste Shridayanaganya Om Prabhu Shulapane Vibhu Vishwanath Mahadeva Shambho Mahesha Trinekara Shivakanta Shanta Smarare Purare Puranyo Marenyo Namanyo Nagamya Puranyo Marenyo Namanyo Nagamya Om Sri Shiva Shankara Bhagwanabhyo Namaha Namami Om Ramyam Sushobham Divyam Sarvasaukhyakaram Shubham Asam cha maya daptam vihara Shiva Shankaram Om Namo Astu Nilagrimayam सहस्राक्षाय विदुषे अथोयस्य सत्त्वानो अन्तेभ्यो अकरं नमः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ वर्णस्य उतं वन्मस्य वरुणस्य स्तं सजनिस्तो वरुणस्य ऋत्सदन्यसि वरुणस्य ऋत्सदन्मासि वरुणस्य ऋत्सदन्मासि पाद्यमार्घ्यमाचमन्यं स्नानं श्रीशिवशङ्कर भगवान् पूजनम् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय नमो नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय नमो ॐ मोक्षधामदेश मोक्षे मया कृतं स्नापनं देवदेवेष्टहार शिवशङ्करं शिवस्नानं श्रीशिवशङ्कर भगवान् पूजनम् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय नमो ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय नमो श्री शिव शंकर भगवान की जय शरणं प्रभु There are too many books.
No, when I want Shiva song, it's time for Krishna. And you know, I'm so
Every time I look at you in the book,
Can I sing any song? पत्ते पत्ते में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम पत्ते पत्ते में राधा फूल फूल में श्याम वही है ब्रज की भूमि वही है गोकुल धाम चांदनी है राधा चांदनी
Son Yuktam Pratyartam Pratigretam Iti Pugipam Sri Shankar Bhagavan Pujanam Samarpyami Hiranyagarbhagarbhastam Himidamivav Punya Paldamata Tin Shantir Prayakshmi Dakshana Dravyam. That must have been a short song, that's why. Alright. I don't have to take too long here, I don't know which one. It's supposed to be timing right, you know. Alright. With flowers in the hand now, we join to glorify Bhagavan. As Shiva through the medium of Panchakshar Stotram, Amar will once again lead today. Go ahead, Amarji.
Om
निर्माण शरीरं गृहम् पूजाते विषयोपभोग रचना निद्रा समाधिष्ठिते संचारा परयोपरक्षण विधि स्तोत्राणि सर्वागिरो यद्यत्करं करोमि करतखिलं शम्भोकारारणम् ॐ करचरं कृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा स्मरणनयनजं वा मानसमाप्राणम् विहितमभिहितं वा सर्वक्षमस्मात् जय जय करुणादेव श्री महादेव शंभो जय जय करुणादेव श्री महादेव शंभो प्रेम से शिव शंकर भगवान की जय शंभो. All right, we'll take the sadhana this time, and there's not many today. Maybe we'll go home early. Secondly, we'll have some bhajan and kirtan going on while the abhishek goes on at the same time. So please help yourself with the abhishek and participate in all of the activities. If you want to sing, let the group know that you would like to contribute to bhajan. And I think everybody has had their turn, but they still have to go on.
प्रभु जी तुम मेरा हाथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी तुम मेरा हाथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी हाथ न छोड़ो साथ न छोड़ो हाथ न छोड़ो साथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी तुम मेरा हाथ न छोड़ो प्रभु जी तुम मेरा हाथ न छोड़ो
Om Sarvam Vaipuragam Swaha. Om Sarvam Vaipuragam Swaha. Om Janti Mangla. One. Keep rooms and one.
चले हनुमान यहाँ आए श्री राम जी के गुलाम चाहे चले हनुमान यहाँ आए श्री राम जी के गुलाम चाहे चले हनुमान यहाँ आए श्री राम जी के गुलाम चाहे सजनों के यही विनती सजनों के यही विनती सजनों के यही विनती चरण कमल बलिहारी श्री राम जी के गुण नचाए कमल बलिहारी श्री राम जी के गुण नचाए चले हनुमान
it's too early.
I thought you were in a rush.
It's still too early to start Katrantai. You gotta stretch Pete out a little bit here. You gotta exercise if you're already, you know. You have to exercise. That's one of my favorites, actually.
Basa said the first time you hear it.
Really? Beautiful song. Makes your skin stand, hair stand on end. All right. Welcome once again to all of you who are here, and of course, for those of you who are online with us. I see some comments going through there from time to time, so there'll be a few people on at least. Not sure how many, but as it comes, the summer rolls down to an end now. I think people are finding places to go, so I understand that fully well. They're trying to get all the warm weather out of the way so that when the cool weather comes, they won't come here. It will be too cold then. There's always an excuse, you know. People, listen, one has to be inspired from within to be like us to come to these places, okay? Let me be honest with you. No matter how much you be, you can take the donkey to the trench, you can't make it drink. The horse, maybe you can carry it a little bit easier. But the donkey is a little bit harder to even carry to the trench. So there you go. You can take the horse, but you can't make it drink. But the donkey is a little bit more difficult to carry to the trench. You got a mind of its own. That's why I guess there's there's a little story that I gotta tell you. You know, this merchant had this donkey that he used to fetch the merchandise with to the market every day, you know. You tell me this? Not you. And one day the donkey met his friend in the field and he said, man, how things? So the other one said, I got a really good master. He treats me well. So what about you? He said, man, look at him. My master beats me all the time and he gets me fetching heavy load to the market. I don't know what to do. He said, why don't you run away? He said, man, there's one thing that keeps him. You know, the man got a very beautiful daughter. And once in a while when she misbehaves, he said, I'll get some donkey to get you married to. And I'm waiting for that day.
You give away all my chocolates.
All right. We are, of course, on the Ramcharit Manas. And unlike the donkey, which is hoping to get married, Sri Ram, of course, dismisses Sumantra with the chariot, and the horses don't want to go. They're turning around and looking all the time, and Sumantra is forcing them, go on the path. But the horses are lying and making lots of noise that they want to go. They don't want to go. But you know how things are going to turn out. As I said, the horses are a little bit easier to handle than the donkey. I used to ride donkey at one time. Every time you ride it, you run into the barbed wire fence. And guess what happened to your legs? Donkeys are stubborn. Alright, so we'll pick up the story from there. Let's join in Pratha. Tulsidas, writing in the Sri Ramcharitmanas, is saying, as he drove off, that is the mantra, the horses of his chariot continued gazing at Sri Ram and making a whinnying sound. When the Nishadas saw this happening, the forest people, they grieved sore and began to beat their head in lamentation. We pick up the story from there. Tulsidas writes, Chaupai. Jasu viyog vikalp suvaise, Jasu viyog vikalp suvaise, Rajamat pitu jigahi kehte, Par satnam sunit bataye, Surin teera napo aapo bhagaaye, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Jasu viyog vikalp suvaise, Jasu viyog vikalp suvaise, Rajamat pitu jigahi kaise, Barbas Ram sunit bataye, Sursari tira, Sursari tira aapo tamaye, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. And why were the Nishadas beating their head in lamentation? They were saying, even the brute beasts are so distressed on being torn away from Sri Ram. How will his subjects, his parents, father and mother, endure to live without Sri Ram? Now, my friends, there is a lesson to be learned here. We take Bhagwan for granted, we all do. We think he's some kind of Father Christmas to do. When you need him, you call on him and he provides. As you do with your own parents, right? You want something, you go see them. Parents will never say no to the child, and even though they spoil them crazy, they still, and if you can't get from your parents, you go to your grandparents. that never fails, right? So the thing is, what is Tulsi saying here? How can the subjects, and we are the subjects, how can we live without Sri Ram? We take him for granted, and all of us do. Only when we are in need do we begin to pray. And you know this is the fact of life. Everybody prays when they have difficulties and they're in need. When things are going good, the last thing on our mind is Bhagwan. So the thing is that how can the parents, the subjects, live without him? And having dismissed Sumitra against Siddhartha's will, Sri Ram himself, trekking as he did away from the village of the Nishadas, arrived at the banks of the Ganges. So now Sri Ram has to cross. Now, there's a little thing I want to point out here. Rama is in the quest to now overcome this the ego. He's Bhagwan out, right? So he's gone out. To do that, anytime we cross a waterway in the story, what does that mean? Water has waves, right? It has a current. It flows in, it flows out. As it comes to the bank, the waves come to the bank, they die, they go back into the water. All of you seen this. What does it symbolize?
Challenges, orders.
The cycle of life and death. The wave is like a human being, you come up, you live, you develop karma, the wind pushing up the waves, right? And what happens? It comes on the shore and it dies. And we come to the end of our trip on the Karna, we die when we go back in. To do what? To come up once again. So in the process of trying to rid ourselves of our ego, this happens. We probably are not going to get it done in one lifetime, believe me. Our people are too proud here. They're full of gumming. If you look around, all of us, brother and sister get a problem, they will not make up. Why? Because of their pride. Neither one will give any quarter. You got a problem with your friend, you stop talking to them. You got a problem with anyone else, you just stay away from them. You will not, even though you might be in the wrong, you will not make yourself small and go say, okay man, let me make up things. Life is too short to hold these grudges, let me make it up. No, you will hold that grudge till you die. And we all do. So you think it's going to happen in one shot? The ego is the reason of this pride, this anger that is within all of us. Ego is the source of all of our problems. Think about it. The anger, the greed, the jealousy, the covetousness, hatred, pride, envy, and lust. All these are products of your ego. Are we suffering from any of these, you think? Is there anyone who's not?
I'm not suffering.
But you have them.
Yep.
You are suffering them. You're denying yourself. You may not be suffering physically, but mentally and spiritually, we're very poor. And this is the whole purpose of coming to temple and to learning. You know, the temple is like the water, you come and you drink and you go back home and you use it. You stay, you're not thirsty for a little while. And I'll tell you, no matter how much you write the word water anywhere, it will not quench your thirst. Only water will quench your thirst. You know that? Think about it. The word water, H2O, whatever you want to call it, that word will not help you. The water itself will help. So you have to come and take the lessons, you learn them, and you use them. If you don't use them, what happens? It's just a mental exercise, that's all it was. And we all do that. Mental exercises are good, it keeps the brain functioning, yes, they're not bad. We all need to keep the brain going, otherwise they begin to have mental rot. When mental rot happens, you start forgetting, and as you get older, this happens. On the way to the fridge, you forget what you were going there for. And when you go in the fridge, you open the door and you start, oh, what did I come here for? Why was I here? Then you ask the spouse, what did I say I was going for? He doesn't know, she doesn't know. Whatever you were going there for was in your own mind. But if you don't remember, then leave it a while and come back. Eventually you'll find out. You'll figure it out. So they've reached now the bank of the Ganga. Now we have to figure out how he's going to cross, right? Because the crossing is important. And the river is a symbol of the cycle of life and death. You have two banks and the stream in between. You're trying to get from one bank where we are to the other bank where we want to go. The other bank is a symbol of the knowledge that we seek. This bank here, we have the knowledge that we already have. We need more, but we have to cross to get there. And we have to cross this cycle of life and death to reach there. So this is how the interpretation of the river is used in these steps. So whenever you see water crossing takes place, think about it as going from ceasing the cycle of life and death. Take me to the other bank. Chalo, Naya Mera, how the song go again? Chalo Hari, Naya Mera Pa. Karohari. So what is he asking? Karohari, please Bhagwan, help me cross this ocean of life and death. That's what it is. So Karo means you make it happen. And how does Bhagwan make it happen? Through internal inspiration. Bhagwan doesn't come and give us anything. We have to earn it ourselves. You ever see Bhagwan come and give anybody anything? Anyone? Nobody. Wisdom is already there. You make use of them. And if you don't learn them, how are you going to make use of them? And how do we learn them? By listening. That's why we got 2 ears and 1 mouth only. Most of us got 2 mouths and no ears at all. Because all we do is yap, 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 and give advice to everybody, which you don't follow yourself. Who's like that? Here, we have 1 person admit. And it's true. I'm guilty of it myself. We all are. And what makes us do this? Nothing but the ego. We think we know everything. We know more than everybody else. So we can give advice. We're not qualified. Okay, just remember that. The text is qualified, is giving us the hints, but we need to pay heed. Continuing. What happens? You reach the bank of the river, you have to cross. How do we cross? And this, of course, is one of the most popular kathas in the Sri Ram Charitmanas. Kevat and Sri Ram are now going to be in effect. So for the next few weeks or 2 weeks or so, not this coming 2 weeks, but sometime in the future for two sessions probably it might take before we get this out of the way. So let's see how it works. And Sri Ram has reached Ganga. Sant Tulsidas writes. Chaupan.
Ram
ferryman. So Sri Ram calls for the boat, and the ferryman would not bring it. Magi Navana Kevata Ana. So Magi is a boat, Kevat is a ferryman. So the ferryman will not bring the boat. And why isn't he bringing the boat? He's saying, I know your magic power. I know. He's telling Sri Ram, I know what magic power you have. And what is his magic power? He said, everyone says that the dust from your feet is some kind of magic herb, possessing the quality of turning things into human beings. Now we all know from the story prior to this, when Sri Ram came to the hermitage of Gautam Rishi, Ahilya was a stone-like it should be, not stone, there's no such thing that could happen, you can't transfer. But what happened, he was stone-hearted, and meeting with Sri Ram was able to convince her to be a regular human being again, was able to make up with her husband. And this happens to everybody, you know, husband and wife have difficulties from time to time, you know, it does happen. And Gautam had a problem with Anasuya, and so they were not getting along until Sri Ram came and changed her mind. But the way the story is written, of course, is make you think. And if you don't think properly, what happens? Then you misinterpret the whole thing, and people keep misinterpreting this because Sri Ram put his foot on Ahilya, and Ahilya was a stone, became a woman. You ever see that happen anywhere? You have to be logical here. I have to be honest. Logical is how you look at it. But the story goes around, and you know when you say when something is done easily, and the word spread from one mouth to the next, to the next, to the next, guess what? The story takes on other propensities. It becomes bigger than it really was. It becomes a storm in a teacup. So this is what has happened. The legend passes on from one generation to the next, or from one mouth to the next, and it becomes something else. But everybody sees things their own way, and nothing is wrong in that. We're humans and we're individuals. If we were not, then we'll be like the sheep. And I said that earlier, one jump in the water, they all jump in. Doesn't matter, they can't get onto the other end, but they do jump in. I used to rear sheep when I was a real good sheep herder. You want to make them cross the water to go graze, you've got to get one to get inside here. If you can't get one in, the whole flock will stay on the
Well,
ground.
I'm a trench, and you used to pass the trench with 25
Yeah.
and they were throwing.
You gotta get one in. Once the one is in and they start going to the other end, everybody jumps in after him. So that's what flock does. We are not like that. We are individuals. We think for ourselves, we act for ourselves, and usually we act out of self-interest. So here, the boatman is saying, not the boatman. The boatman is saying, I know the power of your feet. They have some kind of magic within them that changes things into human beings. Why is that? We'll continue with the next verse. And I think we'll stop at this end of this verse actually. Let's try to finish it with So what is this boatman saying and giving us a reason? A rock which was touched by your feet was transformed into a charming woman. Wood is no harder than rock. If my boat becomes a hermit's wife, like a Helium, I shall be robbed of my boat as well as my livelihood. Should my boat be turned into a sage's wife, the ferry will be closed, so there will be no service for other people, and the boat will be lost, which is the support of the whole family. So without this boat, everything is going to go wrong. Now the reasoning is a bit off here, but don't forget, these are ordinary, not very educated people, but very smart though. He needs something. What he needs, we shall be looking at the next slide. This is where it gets interesting, right?
Yes, yes,
All right, I think we're going to this to a close. Let me just do a little room there to make this complete. Raghunandan Raghav Ram Hare Siya Ram Hare Siya Ram Hare Raghunandan Raghav Ram Hare Siya Ram Hare Siya Ram Hare Raghunandan Raghav Pati Ramachandra ki jai, Sharanam Prabhu. Alright, family and friends, my helper didn't bring a list for me to announce to today, so I have to work with my own calendar. Don't forget, we are on the web, www.voiceofdharmatemple.com, and we do have transfer for money, for cash. If you'd like to make a donation to us, we are always looking for donations, of course. because that's what helps to pay the bill and to keep the property maintained. Otherwise, we couldn't gather here. That is Voice of Dharma, treasurer at voiceofdharmatemple.com. All lowercase, all one word, no space in anywhere. Just one dot in the .com. And as you know, some of you are already watching on Facebook, so please join us there from weekly, from 10 to 12. Hopefully we don't go overtime like we usually do, a few minutes here and there. We're not paying anybody any overtime, so just keep that in mind. And we really appreciate your joining us, and we appreciate the comments that you make as well. And we'll try to address some of the things if you put a comment in there that you think we can improve ourselves. We'd appreciate it. Now today is already the 20, what is it? August the 28th of August. So Tuesday, like I said, will be Ganesh Jayanti, and after we will speak about it in a couple of weeks' time. And the 9th of September will be the Ganesh Visarjan. So that's when they immerse the Murti into the water. So that will be on the 9th. Coming up shortly, of course, is Radha Ashmi, September the 3rd. Vaman Jayanti is the 7th, recognized, of course, the Bhagwan's manifestation as the dwarf. And full moon will be on the 9th as well. From the 10th to the 25th will be the Pitri Paksh. So those of you who do Tilanjali and so on, keep those dates in mind, 10th to the 25th. And after that, shortly on the 26th, will be the Sharad Navaratri, the fall Navaratri. So we'll be observing some of these in the temple. I don't see any special thing coming up in the next little while. So Deepavali will be on October the 24th, so that's the one we'll be celebrating in the temple as the next night service. So just keep that in mind. I don't think we have anything else before that. So for those of you who are observing, please follow the calendar. If you don't have one, it is available on our website, voiceofdharmatemple.com. So you have to go in there, you'll see a link in there saying giving you the calendar. And if you want, you can print it out and keep it at home as well. It's a PDF format, so no pictures or anything. It doesn't look like this. This is why we prefer you to buy these and keep them at home. And we're only charging $2, and from next year, Asante will not be helping us out, so we might have to end up paying for it ourselves unless we have a new sponsorship. And that will mean more payment for the calendars and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. It's a long time yet.
But we can check out if somebody knows someone.
If you know someone who would like to sponsor there or put their name on, especially the real estate agents, they like to keep their names in the homes of everybody, so when need arises, people call them. It works for them and it works for us too. So if you can get someone who might be interested, and you know someone who might be interested, I'll talk to them, see if they'll be willing to sponsor the calendars. It's not that much, but the price has been going up because of the inflation, of course. And every time I talk to Jai, he's crying. He's crying, you know, the paper costs more, and the print costs more, the ink costs more. I understand. It's okay. So this is all for today, I hope.
When did the person who sponsored the name go on the calendar or something?
Yes.
So,
Come on, Amar.
are you looking for just one sponsor? Or?
If we get more, it will be alright. Look, there's Asante was the only sponsor we had.
So, how much money are we looking at? Like, for
Right now it's about $800, I think.
So, I can go halfway if you want.
Well, let's see if we can find somebody else. If you go halfway, then your name will be the only one. But
No, I'll see if I can get someone.
okay.
I can ask Ram Kiran.
Yeah, ask me if you
That's
can go
for
on.
another discussion.
That's what, yeah, but not here. We'll talk about that another time. So thanks Amar for the offer. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so thank you all for being here. I trust today's service you learned a couple of things, and it's a blessing to you. In the same way, may each of you be a blessing to everybody that you meet from now on for the rest of this week. Until we meet again next week, have a wonderful week. Thank you. Let's stand for Aarti and closing. The first part is always joining our closing partner. Om Shantakaram Jagashayana Arvanamam Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sarvisham Meghavarnam Subhagam लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं ममदेव देव ॐ बार बार परमानन्दो हर्षदेव श्रीरं पदसरोजयलपायनी भक्ति सदा सत्सङ्गस्य भज रामचन्द्र की जय शरणं प्रभु उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय सिया भज रामचन्द्र की जय शरणं प्रभु ओम ओनं न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजा चैव न जानामि क्षमस्व परमेश्वरो यौ शान्तिर् अन्तरिक्षं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिर् आपः शान्तिर् औषधय शान्तिर् वनस्पत्य शान्तिर् विश्वदेव शान्तिर् ब्रह्मा शान्तिर् सर्वगुण शान्तिर् शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेव शान्तिर्भवतु ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम प्रेम से शिव शंकर भगवान की जय शरणं प्रभु